Week 16 is officially in the books, and I'm going to go through every game from week 16 and then get into the playoff picture as well as week 17 upcoming starting on Christmas on Thursday. So I'm going to jump into the Saturday games. I think I talked about the Rams-Seahawks already, but it was a crazy game. Seahawks pulled it out in the end, and it was an insane game for pretty much all things betting and statistics. Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Puka had a crazy game, and then same with Sam Darnold threw 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet both scored, and then JSN had a insane game as well. So that was a fun game to watch. And then let's see, Philly, Washington. So Philly pulled it out. They're just an overall better team. Hurts played pretty well. Barkley played really well, 132 scrimmage yards. And then a bunch of different receivers got involved too. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, even Dallas Goedert caught a touchdown. So pretty easy win for the Commanders there. That one didn't have much playoff impact. This game did on Saturday night. Bears take down the Packers on an insane last-minute onside kick recovery, which was just mind-blowing how they botched that, the Packers. Jordan Love did get hurt in this game, so that can definitely affect them going forward. I'm not sure his status for Week 17, but that'll be something to monitor. Josh Jacobs really didn't play too well. They covered him up once the passing threat was completely gone. They covered up Jacobs, and then receiving, I guess Dobbs had a decent game. And then for the Bears, it really wasn't anything too crazy either. Caleb Williams did throw 2 touchdowns, and then I know DJ Moore caught a long touchdown to end the game in overtime. But other than that, nothing too crazy. But that does put the Bears in first place and in the playoffs. So if we go look at the playoff picture here, Bears are now in first in the NFC North. And as long as they don't lose, I'm not sure what their schedule is coming up, but let's see here. So the Bears play Sunday night against the 49ers. And this game actually does matter, so the Bears could potentially lose this matchup, but they do control their own destiny in the NFC North. Tampa and Carolina, the Panthers beat the Bucs. I was saying last week how the Panthers pretty much fumbled their opportunity in this division by losing to the Saints, but they come back and beat the Bucs, and Baker Mayfield looked horrible. Threw for only 145 yards and a touchdown. Did throw a pick, and they couldn't really get anything going. I mean, Bucky had 70 yards. Their receivers looked horrible. Evans caught a touchdown on the first drive, I believe. But other than that, I mean, how do you have Buka, Evans, Godwin, and McMillan and score, 20 points against the Panthers and lose? Bryce Young played pretty well. No turnovers, 190 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, they couldn't really do anything through the ground, but it didn't really matter. McMillan caught a touchdown for 73 yards, or had 73 yards total, and caught a touchdown. And now they kind of control their own destiny. They're 8-7. Bucs are only 1 game back, but there's only 2 weeks left. And I believe they play each other in Week 18. All right, Buffalo beat the Browns. Ended up pretty close, but they beat the Browns. New England also won. We'll get into that too, but not too much from this game to pull from. Allen with a 0 touchdown game is rough for fantasy. That sucks. No passing touchdowns, not even a rushing touchdown. And Browns defense played pretty well, but the Browns offense was bad. I know Shador was a little bit hurt at times. Only threw 1 touchdown. Did turn it over twice, and was getting pressured a lot. Got sacked twice. So Bills took care of them there. Chargers, Dallas. The Chargers just, like I figured they would. They just passed on the Dallas secondary and just completely cooked their DBs and safeties. And I mean, that's really the game plan when you're playing against Dallas. Beat their secondary and throw the ball a lot. Herbert had 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hampton ran one in, and also Herbert ran one in too. And they just outscored Dallas. I mean, Dallas put up a decent fight, but if the Chargers were going to put up this much, there was no chance Dallas was winning. Chargers are 11-4, still a game back of Denver, and I believe Denver did. Now, did Denver lose? Yes, Denver lost to Jacksonville. We'll skip to that game. Yes, Jacksonville beat Denver, and it wasn't even close. It really was not close. Jacksonville's offense is, I don't know what's going on, but it's turned around. It's incredible. Lawrence is looking solid. 3 touchdowns in this one, 280. He also ran another one in. He has been a fantasy playoff weapon. 4 total touchdowns. And then Parker Washington stepped up in a huge way, 145 yards and a touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. cannot get going, but it doesn't seem like they really need him right now. They mopped up. I mean, Knicks threw a ton because they were behind, but something with him, I feel like if he doesn't have the lead and they can't run the ball and they're forced to pass, he forces too many throws. Like Sutton had 12 targets and only 6 catches. Same with like guys down here, like 8 targets and 5 catches. Sutton did end up with a touchdown. Actually had a pretty big game. He did hit one of the player props that I put out as well, so that was great to see. But Jacksonville now controls the division. They're 11-4, 1 game up of Houston, and they're looking pretty good. Let's see what other games really matter. Chiefs lost to the Titans. The Bengals, like I thought they would, absolutely crush the Dolphins. And, of course, it was a high-scoring game. Joe Burrow went off, 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. Chase Brown, I believe, caught 2 touchdowns, which was huge for fantasy. Jamar Chase with the huge yardage. So, great game for the Browns. And the Dolphins look to be done with Tua. Quinn Ewers didn't look too great. 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Achane continues to dominate, though, on the ground. He is an absolute weapon. And they really should look to get him involved in the pass game more. Only 3 catches for 9 yards. But Cleveland's out. Browns are out. Pittsburgh leads the division by 2 now. Baltimore did lose to the Patriots at night. That game mattered. This game was another game that really surprised me. Steelers go in to Detroit and beat them at home. And the Lions should have won this game. They had first and goal, I believe, or second and goal opportunities, and then pretty much fumbled it with a penalty, and then the clock ran out. It was a wild end to this game. But Kenneth Gainwell stepped up again in the pass game, leading receiver with 78 yards and a touchdown. I do believe DK Metcalf is going to be suspended, so that's something to watch for them because he is their main target. At the receiver position, he's the main target. So Tyler Warren went crazy in this one, 2 total touchdowns, 140 yards. And then Goff ended up passing 54 times, 360 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But he was kind of forced into that situation. So Gibbs caught a touchdown. Tesla caught a touchdown. Tesla actually had an opportunity at the end to catch another one too, but ended up dropping it in the end zone. And then big game Sunday night. Patriots beat the Ravens to hold on to first place in the AFC East. But Buffalo's right on their tail. I believe New England does have 2 kind of easy matchups. Does it tell me their schedule? No. They do have 2 easy matchups. I believe they play the Jets once and the Dolphins once. So it should be 2 wins for them. And I know Buffalo plays the Eagles this weekend, so that could be challenging for them. But it was a pretty good game. If Lamar didn't get hurt in this one, I think the Ravens might have beat the Patriots. Derrick Henry ran all over New England, and they decided not to play him in the fourth quarter for some reason. He ran for 128 and 2 touchdowns, and then he didn't see snaps in the fourth quarter. It was kind of crazy. I don't know why they're rotating running backs like that, but that's an issue. They probably should have won the game. I believe they were up by 10 with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and New England came back. So that's a problem. Zay Flowers was involved heavily, 7 catches, 80 yards, and that kind of puts Baltimore behind the 8 ball in their division. 7-8. Steelers are 2 games up, and we'll see who they play following weeks. San Francisco did crush the Colts, especially late in the game. Phillip Rivers threw a pick and just wrapped it up. But Brock Purdy threw 5 touchdowns, played really, really well. And then McCaffrey, Kittle went off too, so I expected that. I think, McCaffrey also caught 2 touchdowns as well, so that was great for him for fantasy, as well as best ball too, if you're still in that. And then, let's look at the upcoming schedule. So week 17, there's not too many games that really matter at this point. Lions need to win this game versus the Vikings. Broncos Chiefs doesn't matter. Broncos are going to clearly win this game. Texans Chargers will be a good one. Hopefully the Chargers play well and just kind of beat the Texans. They should, so it should be interesting. All right, and then let's see here. Seahawks-Panthers is actually a pretty big game too. Panthers need to win. Bucks are a game behind them, but Seahawks are a tough matchup. 12-3. It is in Carolina, which does help them, but I expect Seattle to be favored in this game. Colts-Jaguars should be another good one too, but without Daniel Jones, the Colts just can't really produce as well as they have been. Jags will probably win this one. Patriots do play the Jets, so that'll be an easy win. I think it's going to be tough. Bills have a tough matchup too. That should be a great game on Sunday, 4:25. Eagles Bills. It's honestly a must-win game for both. I mean, if the Eagles lose that game, I know they're not going to get first place in the NFC. They're not going to get the bye in the NFC, and they're still going to win the division, but you just don't want that I feel like it just kind of kills momentum. So that's going to be a fun game. Hurts versus Allen, that'll be a good one. Bears 49ers, like I said, does matter too. I believe both these teams are fighting for the bye. Let me look and see. Yeah, so in the AFC, the Broncos are 12-3. Patriots are also 12-3. So the Patriots win out, Broncos lose one. Like Broncos lose to lose this week or week 18, they are knocked out of first place. But really, in the AFC, it's going to come down to Broncos, Patriots for the number 1 seed. And then in the NFC, it's going to just come down to the Seahawks, Bears. So that Seahawks game, the Seahawks and the Bears games are super important. And they have, Bears have a tough matchup. I think the 49ers beat the Bears. And then I think Seattle should take care of the Panthers, but you never know. Panthers could shock them. So that's fun in the NFC for sure. And then just wrapping up, AFC, Jags are in, Chargers are in right now, Bills are in right now. But let's see who. So the Steelers, Texans. I would say the Texans have a chance. They're 10-5. They need to win out, obviously, and they need help from the Bills. And then in the NFC, who do the Packers get in over? I don't think anyone. I think the NFC probably will end how it is right now, as far as who's in. Seahawks, Bears, Eagles, Niners, Rams. And then the AFC could look a little different, just because it's a tough game for the Bills going to Philly. But we'll see how it is. I should have bets out for Christmas and then this Sunday as well, or Saturday, Sunday. I don't know if there's games Saturday. I'm assuming there are. But I will have player props that I like for all those games. And then, yes, there are two Saturday games. So I'll have props for all the games, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then we'll be back talking playoffs because we'll pretty much know who's in at this point next week. But we'll really know who's in pretty much for going into week 18. There'll probably be it's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of players that are sitting week 18. So I know hunting for player props could be tough in week 18. There are also a bunch of game incentives and season-long incentives that players are playing for, which could also impact how much playing time they get and if they are an actual focus in Week 18. So I'll have to look out for all that. But head over to my Twitter. I will have all that. I'll have all that there. I have an NBA parlay tonight. But earlier today, I was digging into a bunch of NFL incentive, players' incentives, how close they are, and then also player props for Christmas and this Sunday. So should be exciting. Should have a bunch to look forward to, and then obviously playoffs are coming soon too. That'll be entertaining, and I'll have picks out for all those games as well. So thanks for tuning in. Just checking in end of week 16, going into week 17. Have a great holiday, great Christmas. If you did enjoy the video, hit the like button. Also, please subscribe if you are enjoying the content. Got much more to come in the near future. We'll end up doing playoff football, get into baseball and NBA as well too. We'll talk all that, and then probably probably a bunch of best ball content and fantasy content too for baseball, and then next football season to look forward to as well. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in week 18.